Hello and welcome back to round 3 of the 2014 Salem, Oregon Regional Championship. We have Jack Pitcher on your left. Jack got third in the senior division at Worlds 2012 in Kona, Hawaii. And on your right we have Sorina Radu. Mostly featured this match because Jack is playing Dragonite, which I know is a deck that a lot of people wanted to see on stream last week when Dylan Bryan played it in Virginia. But Dylan denied being on stream, but Jack is willing to show his deck list off, so gonna see a little bit of that. Other matches going on right now that you might want to know about. Chase Maloney, 2012 Senior World Champion, is playing against Matt Oslakovic, our current Washington State Champion. Both are 1-0-1, so a loss will be tough for either here. Additionally, World semifinalist James Good is playing against multiple-time regional champion and Worlds qualifier Tyler Namora at table 2, so that should be a pretty big match. I'm not sure what James is playing. I know Tyler's on Verizian, so that'll definitely be a match that has implications for the top 8 of this event. Looking through, Tyler and James are both 2-0, by the way. Gonna let these announcements finish. And
lunch has been adjusted. So after this game, your third round, I need you back here by 2 o'clock to start the 4th round. Parents, you have till 2 o'clock. I know. One of my favorite dentist jokes.
Lunch is going to finish at 2 o'clock, so I'd say expect us back on stream about 2:15 Pacific time.
President to win. If I call your name, you're not here. I can't give you this fabulous stuff. All right? After lunch, before the...
They'll also be doing some
doing the drawings, the raffle. You need your tickets.
drawings. I posted a picture on the Facebook page at facebook.com/OTB Pokemon of all the prizes they're doing for the drawings, including a tropical beach.
We actually have some celebrities here, or what I consider celebrities. Nugget Ridge is helping out back there. They're playing. It's a website that helps us constantly streaming the video game. Putting it online so the world can watch your battles. Thank you guys. Thanks Nugget Ridge for helping us. I also want to promote we have streaming online the card game for us. They are on the bubble, presented by Top Cut Central.
You'll get shout-outs.
Thank you guys very much for helping us do that. We're trying to move into the new era, you know. Alright, well I think I only have one more question for you.
Looks like Jack's going first.
Now, I've heard the person that is the loudest...
He's got those Dialga sleeves.
Oh, he does.
Dialga.
Same ones that you have on that Verizian deck.
Yeah, buddy.
As you can see in the middle of your screen, we do have a timer up. We'll try and start that as looks like Sorina's playing the Yeti deck, the Snorlax Lugia Plasma deck. Things are about to get really loud. Oh, he didn't use the mic. Okay. There we go. Sorry if that was a little loud. Trying to change the volume on the mixer there for you, but not sure how much of that translates over to the feed. Sorina took a mulligan. Jack's going first and getting an extra mulligan card. So we have confirmed that Jack is playing Dragonite, and by the looks of Sorina's mulligan, it seems like she's playing the Yeti, the Snorlax Lugia Plasma deck. Do you have any opinions on that matchup, Isaiah?
Against Dragonite?
Yeah.
I don't know anything about Dragonite, so I can't really comment.
Alright, so for those of you who don't know, Dragonite, I think Jack's actually been playing it for quite a while, but it was popularized recently by Dylan Bryan, who's a very good player out of the Northeast area. He top 4'd the Virginia Regionals last week with Dragonite. He played Dragonite itself, which does Deafen, which is an attack that prevents your opponent from playing trainers. And he also played, as you can see, Reuniclus, as well as Verizian and Garbodor. And the idea is it's kind of just a lock deck. You lock them out of abilities if you need to. You lock them out of trainers. You move all your damage around. It's kind of a cousin of, I guess, the Truth deck from Ross Cawthon's 2011 Worlds runner-up appearance. And for those of you who don't know, the Snorlax Lugia deck is a plasma deck that runs heavy counts of Snorlax and Lugia. I believe it was originally popularized by, it was originally made by Kevin Baxter out of Ohio. He called it Snorbax. And then it grew a lot of popularity in the Midwest and has been doing very well during cities and LCs this past season.
Yeah, I know that deck dominated the Texas Marathon. We had Chase Maloney, I believe, win 2 of them. Or Brandon Smiley won 2 or 3 of them as well.
I think Brandon won 3.
Yeah. And they were both playing that deck, so.
Yeah. And we see Jack going first, getting Solosis with a Dratini, a Trubbish, and a Mime. That's another thing to note, too, is that you also play Silver Mirror. You play heavy counts of Mirror to just lock Plasma out, which is not maybe the best match for streaming, but I didn't know Sorina was playing ahead of time. Just wanted to showcase the Dragonite deck. But yeah, so we have 2. I mean, Yeti is a known, the Snorlax deck is a known deck, but we do have a Rogue deck on stream as well as one that's pretty interesting. I find the Snorlax deck to be pretty fun to watch play, fun to play. Looks, if Jack gets his start going, it looks like there might not really be a game for Sorina to play, but who knows? It's very early in the thing. What do you think of the, as someone who went to the Texas Marathon, what do you think of the Yeti deck?
I don't really know what to think of it. It's definitely strong in the sense that you've got Snorlax, which can one-shot EXs, and then I don't know. It's just a modded plasma deck. I don't really know how to expand on that.
I really like. I don't like playing the deck as much. I've been testing it lately just to help people test for this event. I don't like playing it. I don't like the way that it plays, but there's no denying that it's very powerful. I mean, Snorlax can do 180.
Yeah.
To get set up with the help of Colorless machines. For those of you who don't know.
The thing I don't like about it is that both of the main attackers require a lot of energy.
Yeah. Snorlax requires 5 energy to do 30 times the number of plasma Pokemon you have in play, which is usually 6, it's usually 180. It also prevents your opponents from retreating. And then Lugia, of course, for 4 energy does 120, and you have to discard a plasma. So definitely some heavy energy costs in there, and definitely all the plasma decks are weak to decks that have Silver Mirror, unfortunately, but Sorina, I mean, it's still very early in the game. Sorina.
Well, if I learned anything from playing David Cohen last weekend, he was running the Yeti deck and he had 3 tool scrappers, so anything is possible. And he screwed me over with that.
He's going big. I don't know how many Sorina's running. I imagine that it's a non-zero number less than 3, but
yeah,
it could be the full set. Who knows?
I just like, forget it. I'm running 4 of those bad boys.
Dude, scrap 8 tools. The Trubbish deck will never get you. But yeah, so Sorina looks like she's resolving an Ultra Ball. Started with Genesect, just not really her ideal starter. She's taking some time to check the reprises. As you can see on stream, we do have the camera all set up. The timer all set up. So hopefully, it's not exact, but I think it's probably within a couple of seconds. So hopefully we can have a better grasp on when the match is going to end.
She runs that Kyurem, so...
Oh, she's playing a Kyurem, too. Interesting.
I see more Kyurems. Maybe... No, never mind.
Well, Kyurem is something that the Snorlax deck usually doesn't run.
Yeah. I saw a blue card and thought it was another Kyurem, but... I don't know.
Just another plasma card.
I mean... I've seen people say to run the one of Kyurem in there because it's still just amazing. And I agree. Because it doesn't take as much energy to attack with compared to Snorlax.
Yeah, so it's just an inherently powerful card. Like, Kyurem's one of the best on EX attackers that's in the game right now. I just wonder what our list looks like, because you're playing so much, like with having to play the Lugia and the Snorlax and and the Kyurem, and I just wonder what her energy line looks like. Maybe if she wins the match, we can get her over for a quick interview.
Yeah.
Maybe if Jack wins. I mean, I think we'll safe to say we'll be interviewing either of these players, regardless of who wins. And Sorina's resolving an N. I see a Color Machine in her hand. I think I see a Lightning Energy. Is that a Lugia she just played? Deoxys. Onto the bench. And switch. She's going to go aggressive with the Kyurem plan. Going to Frost Spear. Seemingly. Checking through discard pile very quickly. And yep. Frost Spear for the knockout. Unfortunately, I mean, while the Reuniclus is important, as long as this Dragonite deck has Silver Mirrors aplenty, it won't really matter because Sorina won't be able to damage him in the first place.
Yeah.
But as we said before, you have to expect Sorina to run some number of Tool Scrapper. And I mean, Sorina, she's not really well known. She's won a couple of cities, and she's a good friend of mine. And I think she's a good player, and she's definitely up on what's happening in the metagame. She definitely is running some number of Tool Scrapper, and she knows how to. I don't know if she knows how to play against Dragonite as much. I'm not really sure if there's anyone who loves playing against it or has mastered the matchup or anything like that. But she definitely knows what she's doing. And we do see Jack get the Dragonite.
I just realized how stupid I sound by saying Tool Scrapper matters. I forgot what Defen did.
Yeah, no, I mean, you can't, yeah, she had to have it early.
Yeah.
And I think Sorina just might be locked. Well, okay, no, that's not true, because she can Genesect. Oh, does he have Garbodor? He doesn't have Garbodor. So she can still Red Signal with Genesect. She can also still snipe the bench. Jack's forgetting about the damage off of the Frozen City, and they need to call a judge, it looks like. I think they're wondering if the Silver Mirror prevents the effect. There's a lag.
Oh.
There's the effect. And I mean, I don't think if Jack gets a Garbodor out, I don't think that Sorina can actually win. I don't think she has outs because as of right now, she can Night Spear and put damage on the bench.
Yeah.
And she can also Genesect, Red Signal things up, but when he gets the Garbodor up, it's not going to be an issue. The sniping will still matter, but I mean, okay, I guess they're just playing. I guess we could also see a time extension here, so the time should be somewhat correct, but just be warned, be wary that we might have an extra minute or two for this ruling. There's a second Dragonite, and I gotta believe Jax is trying to dig for the Garbodor. I see he has a Bangle, a Keldeo, and a Colress in hand. And yeah, Sorina can't play trainers because of Defen. I can play an N though. And once Jack gets a Garbodor online, I think this game is pretty much all but over. Do you think there's anything she can really do? I don't see many outs. Did we drop from the stream?
No.
No, okay. Apologize for a little bit of lag we might be having on the stream, if there's any. Just checking out, doing some technical.
I don't think she loses until he gets a Reuniclus because she can still attack with the Kyurem.
But it doesn't do anything because it's Silver Mirror.
Oh.
I mean, she can put band damage on the bench, but
see,
like
I really need caffeine right now.
we'll go to Chipotle after this.
All right.
And now that it's Silver Mirror on the Dragonite, even, I mean, if he gets I think it's over once he gets a Garbodor up, but I think it's actually like she can't do anything once he gets a Silver Mirror on the Garbodor, because that will just protect the Garbodor too from anything. So like if his tool of choice on the Garbodor is a Silver Mirror.
What if she runs a non-plasma attacker?
I mean, I can't imagine that she does. Like, what would she run? Because he needs,
I don't know, like a Machamp or something?
Buffalant? That's the whole point of Snorlax, is that you have all plasma attackers. So I mean, she's obviously going to play it out as a formality. You can't, like... I don't think you can really afford to concede, at least, like, very, very early.
Yeah.
Because Jack just might mess up. Like, he just very well not say Def in one turn or, like, something. But I do expect Sorina to concede within a few minutes once Jack gets the Dragonite up.
The Garbodor up.
Sorry, the Garbodor up. Attaching to that Lugia, and just passes the turn. I guess also Jack is affected by the damage from the Frozen City, but I mean, like, he can control that just like he wants. Like, it doesn't really matter. And geez, this is I wanted to get the Dragonite deck on stream. I didn't know that it would be playing against Plasma, so I apologize for that, folks. But hopefully we can get some insight to the Dragonite deck. Hopefully maybe next game Jock will run a little bit more poorly and we'll get a real game out of it. Sorina playing in yet another N. And as someone in the chat pointed out, she also can't do damage with Frost Spear because mine was on the bench. So once the Garbodor gets online, she is completely locked out of the game. It's unfortunate.
Maybe he'll forget.
Maybe he'll forget. In the words of Tyler Nomura, maybe he'll forget. Do you have much experience with rogue decks? Isaiah, have you ever come up with a secret deck and played it for an event, or kind of worked on something super rogue?
Never.
Have you actually never?
Never.
Is that you being serious?
I'm being serious.
Never? Okay,
never.
Yeah. I wasn't sure if you had, but I didn't know. You said it in such a way that I didn't know if you were trying to remind me something obvious happened. Is that like a choice you've made, or just because nothing has come up, or what? Like, is it a conscious choice? Or?
I guess I spend more time on testing for consistency than I do spending time looking for new ideas.
That's fair.
As a player.
That's fair.
Or I did in the past, at least.
And there's a red signal. Correctly sending up the Trubbish. Sorina looking at her discard pile and shaking her head. Shaking her head with a look of disgust. Two prizes. And there's the knockout on the Lugia. As a reminder, check out twitch.tv/onthebubble for when we're offline or at lunch or anything. Chase Neiman and Mike Fizzy Stardust Davies are streaming Southern California regionals. I don't know how that's going, but I assume they're pretty close to the same schedule as we are, since we're on the same coast and all that. Looking around the room, not many matches have finished. A couple have, but no big name players that I know of, at least. I see Sam Chen looking frustrated, playing right in front of me. So Sam Chen from the Philadelphia regional champion from New York, coming out, visit some friends, and hopefully win a regional championship. And Sorina shaking your head yet again. This is a scramble switch and a max potion, maybe, along with a plasma energy and a shadow triad in her hand. We have done a little bit of the math, and it appears as if you need 6 wins to top 8 this event. There's 7 rounds, and a 6-0-1 record or a 6-1 record makes it. That's based on a Magic calculator that we've been using. Magic as in the card game, not in as in Magic. and it has, we need 6 wins, but I think that because of the amount of unintentional draws in Pokemon right now that we actually may need fewer. I think some 502s might be able to squeak in. We'll definitely update you on that as time goes on. Once we get into the later rounds, we'll be able to tell who's more live for winning, to start winning the event, and also once we get into the later rounds, maybe round 5 or 6, we'll be able to feature some players who need to win to keep in, so to stay in the event. So we'll have a little bit of pressure and a little bit of something hanging in the balance. Again, only 7 rounds, 125 players this event, so we should finish up pretty quickly. And as a reminder as well, we are having a lunch break after this round. We have been told to be back at 2 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, which would mean that we're probably going to be back with the stream around 2:15 or 2:20. And again, while we're offline, you can feel free to watch twitch.tv/onthebubble, where Chase Neiman and Fizzy Stardust are streaming the SoCal regionals. Do you want to talk about that?
I'm not really sure what he's referring to.
Someone in the chat says, do you guys think that she should have let Garbodor sit active and then try to scrap her the next turn if he missed a float stone? He's referring to a turn or two ago when Sorina had catchered the Garbodor and then knocked it out. I'm not sure. I can see that line of play, but I also think that she just needed to get rid of the Garbodor because she just loses the game if the Garbodor comes online.
Yeah.
But I'm just going to be honest, I'm not experienced enough with either deck to really say that. I've tested both a little bit and I understand how they work. We also don't know what was in Serena's hand or what was in Jack's hand, so it's hard to say, but that's definitely a line of play she could have taken. And Jack's Mr. Mime is active, going aggressive. And Jack playing a level ball. Looking through his pretty thin deck, I see a bunch of Bangles, and I think I saw a Dratini at the end. And failing to find, it looks like. Double checking his hand and then failing to find. Sorina just looks distressed this whole time. She draws, and I think I see a Plasma Energy in her hand. And yeah, if Sorina can clear, if Sorina knocks out this Mr. Mime or Jack knocks it out himself with Frozen City, or otherwise the Mr. Mime, when the Mr. Mime gets knocked out, Sorina will be completely locked out of the game, which there's nothing she can really do about it. She's scramble switching and then ending. I mean, what do you do if you're Sorina here? Like, knowing that you basically can't win this game, do you concede and try and save more time for game 2, or do you concede the whole match and just go to lunch, or what do you do?
Well, I guess the glimmer of hope is getting rid of the Garbodor, and that's a Mr. Mime.
There's no Garbodor. Yeah, it's the Mime.
So she still has a chance.
Well, if the Mr. Mime gets knocked out, she doesn't though.
Oh.
Because there's 2 Silver Mirrors on 2 Dragonite, so she can't ever.
Yeah,
do anything.
Well, he didn't deafen last turn, did he?
I mean, he just did now. Yeah. Like she didn't have the Scrapper.
Okay. Well, the Scrapper. Finding that window of opportunity to scrap her was her only hope. Otherwise, I would concede this game and hope to have more time to maybe, I don't know, outpace him the next 2 games. Yeah, definitely. I mean, at this point, you know that you can't play for the draw because you still have 30 minutes in. Yeah.
Obviously, scooping the whole match is silly. I was just... it seems pretty hopeless, but you obviously do not concede the whole match. But... You can't really play for the draw when you only have 30 minutes in. I think I would have scooped, yeah. So she's going to scoop it up. I think she's probably a couple minutes behind on that. I would have I would have conceded a few minutes ago. But alas. Sorina does get to go first this game, which unfortunately, because the mirrors are really what matters here and not so much the Pokemon, it's going to be it's not really going to matter that much, but hopefully she could get some early knockouts, take some early prizes, and then be able to just not completely shut herself out of the game. Did we see a Tool Scrapper that game from anywhere? Yeah,
I don't remember seeing one.
I don't think we did either. Looking over some results here. 2011 World Champion David Cohen is 1-1-0, still playing his match, still with a chance of winning out. He's playing a pretty standard Blastoise deck as far as I know. Current British Columbia Regional Champion Grant McClellan is 0-1-1, unfortunately, having to basically win out the rest of his rounds to advance to the top 8. Let's see what else we have. World 2013 Grinder Survivor Amelia Botmiller is 1-0-1, still playing her match. I thought she had finished, but I don't think so. It's still pretty early in the round. As you see, 2012 Senior Division World Champion, or Senior Division World Semifinalist Jack Pitcher 2-0, playing on camera as we speak. 2012 Oregon State Champion Jacob Van Wagner 2-0, still playing. James Good and Tyler Nomura, that is 2013 World Semifinalist James Good and 3-time Regional Champion Tyler Nomura are playing to see who advances to 3-0. And looks like that might be it for the big matchups. And we see our winner from last round, Rico Connor with Ray Boars, playing at table 1, hoping to keep up his X&O record. As a reminder, we'll be taking a lunch break after this round. Probably be back around 2:15 or so. Pacific Standard Time. For reference, it's currently 12:56 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Sorina took a mulligan again. Jacob Van Wagner, we just talked about, has won his match, advancing to 3-0. Hopefully only having to win 2 more and then draw twice in. We're not sure of that. As I said, we'll keep up with that and let you guys know what records players are going to need as time goes on. Sorina will be going first. Handshake. What do you think of the Game 2 handshake? Is that, are you a fan?
No.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of any handshakes, especially the whole like I won Game 1 handshake. You know what I mean? It's just,
you know, I think they're underdoing it. I would just like go up and give my opponent a giant hug between games. You know, just like solidify the fact that
spirit of the game.
Spirit of the game. Like I would even like come up with a handshake or something like.
Yeah, that'd be
go
good.
big or go home.
Secret handshake. So we see Sorina going first. Opening a Genesect DX, which she opened last time, and Skyling for, I think, a Deoxys. No, she's still revolving. She's still resolving her Skyla, getting an Ultra Ball. James Good, I do not know what James Good is playing. Hopefully get that for you soon. Actually, we'll get it as soon as the match is done. All I know is he told me earlier in the day that he had locked. He had known what deck he was going to play for the past week. So if that tells you anything. One person in the chat has said he's playing Pokemon, which is true. So Sorina goes for the Ultra Ball, gets rid of a Shadow Triad and an unknown card for a Snorlax, and passes the turn with no energy. Jack starting a Trubbish. Yeah. Man, he did take a mulligan card. Both players friends, being friendly, laughing. Jack considering his options. Not really sure what's in his hand. I see some energies. Taking his time thinking. For those of you who've never been out to Oregon or a Northwest event, I definitely recommend it. TOs are all pretty great. Players are all pretty great. This event's run pretty timely. Excuse me. I know that we are excuse me, currently as fast or a little bit faster than the St. Louis event. We started round 2 before the round 2 pairings were even up for them, and they're hours ahead of us. That just goes to show you how quickly and efficiently Northwest events are run. Most notably, we have this Seattle's first regional championship, or at least first in the time that I've been playing, coming up in April, so that'll be a good time. I'll definitely be streaming that. And if you find yourself in the Northwest or the West Coast, definitely come out and play in that. I'm sure there'll be some increased prizes and such. And Jack's gonna find a Dratini and try and start the process. I think Sorina had the chance. I still had. It's very early in the game. I often speak in hyperbole about when games are over, and I apologize for that. But I think Sorina's chances of winning the game and taking control were high when she could go first, and are definitely lessened after she misses an energy attachment.
Yeah.
I think that basically negates going first. It's still good because Jack doesn't get to evolve as quickly, but if you consider that attaching energy is really what you want to be doing on turn 1, it's all you can really do, and she didn't do that, so it's basically like Jack just went first anyway. I think the Dragonite deck's a good play. You think it was cool to pop up and take advantage of the metagame?
I would have to see it in action against a deck that doesn't auto-lose to it.
That's fair. I do know that Dylan Bryan, who popularized the deck before, or at the Virginia Regional Championship last week, ended up losing in the top 4 of that event to a Raybor deck piloted by Santiago Rodriguez. So that makes sense. That matchup does not seem the best for it, considering that if they get an Embor online, they don't really need to be playing trainers anyways. They can one-shot you. Dragonite does have a hefty 150 HP.
Well, you forget that he's running Garbodor, so it depends on how quickly you got the Garbodor up.
That's true. That's true. I mean, I guess it's just definitely just like, it's not an auto loss. You know what I mean? It's something they can definitely, it's not an auto win. It's definitely something they can lose to. And is it a DCE on the Dratini over there?
Yeah, it's a DC and a fire.
What's your preference for DCE art?
I like the newer one.
The newest one?
The Next Destiny one or whatever?
Yeah, that's nice. I like the Heart Gold Soul Silver one myself, but if you're a real man, you play with Japanese textless ones.
Yeah.
Just don't get caught. Don't. On the Bubble does not endorse cheating, or does not condone cheating of any sort.
We also don't endorse it.
That's true. And there's a Bangle on the Dratini. How do you feel about that play? Do you think you just should leave
I think he's got to get a Floatstone Rare Candy Dragonite and then just win. No. I mean, that's a fine play. She can't knock it out next turn, as far as I know.
I mean, I think the argument is that you might want to save the tool slot on that Dratini for a possible mirror. And he's going to go ahead, evolve the Dragonite, and then Beach. And I mean, I think that Jack, missing the combo, per se, on these first few turns is allowing Sorina a window to come through, but her just missing energy and just running bad in general is just undoing all of that work that Jack did for her.
Yeah, definitely. Has she played a single energy the entire game?
No, there's no energy. She's played, I believe she played supporters and stuff, but she just has kind of ran bad.
Well, depending on Jack's next turn, he might be sealing that coffin up and taking the 2-0.
Definitely. I mean, again, I just think that Sorina had the chance to really come through, and no fault of her own. I mean, she's just been running very badly.
Yeah.
Was just not able to do that. Jackie's even stumbling, but I think that he, every time Sorina's just kind of going 2 steps forward, 1 step back here. And I don't know if she can really pull off. She does with the DCE on the Snorlax. That's a start. It's getting somewhere. Also, the other thing to consider, I don't want to talk about this too much on stream. I feel like we were talking about it too much. But again, there's only 18 minutes left in this round, which seems like a lot. But these decks, the Dragonite deck especially, is pretty slow. It doesn't really one-hit things, even 2-hit things, sometimes even 3-hit things. So the deck does work pretty slowly, and Jack could just see a 2-0 victory.
That Victini EX there is interesting.
Yeah, it just lets you power out things more quickly. You a big fan of that card in general? I know it was played a little bit last year in Ray Eels and whatnot.
I think it's hot, you know.